Okay, fifth graders, I want to do a quick review of sections 1 through 6 before I give you guys sort of the quiz on chapter 8. After you guys finish section 6, we'll take a quiz on that and then continue on. I think there's about 4 more sections after that. But anyways, so they started off with multiplying a whole number by a fraction. And so what do? You need to turn that whole number, you need to turn that into a fraction. So this would be 2/3 times what? It'd be times 15 over 1, because that's how you turn a whole number into a fraction. You put a 1 underneath it, which is exactly what I did here. So anytime you want to turn or need to turn a fraction into a whole number into a fraction, just put a 1 underneath it. So we've got a couple different things here we could do, a couple different options. We could just go ahead and multiply straight across or do some cross canceling. So 3 could go into 3 once, and 3 goes into 15 5 times, but we don't have to do that. It just makes it easier. But I did. So 2 times 5 is what? 10. And 1 times 1 is 1. Well, what's 10 over 1 equal? Well, that equals 10. And that kind of makes sense if you think about it, for those of you that recognize it. What goes into 15 3 times? That's 5. And so 2/3 of that would be 10. The next section was multiplying whole numbers by fractions. We're just kind of reversing what we're doing. Fractions by whole numbers by fractions. I thought it was kind of silly that they did that, but they did. So this is really no different than the one above. Rewrite it as 15 over 1. I've turned that into a fraction times 2/3, okay? This time I'm not going to do any cross canceling. I'll just going to multiply straight across, okay? Which is what you do every time. So 15 times 2 is 30. And then 1 times 3 is 3. That's supposed to be a 0, okay? How many times does 3 go into 30? Goes in 10 times. Look at that. Same answer, all right? Even though we did it differently. In here, I didn't do any cross canceling, and here I did. But the answer is the same, assuming your products are correct, all right? 10 is the correct answer for these. All right, let's look at a couple more here. So 2/3 times 6 over 7. So can we do some cross canceling? Yeah, we sure can. How many times what number goes into 3 and 6 evenly? Well, 3 goes into 3 once, and 3 goes into 6 twice. Now we just what? So we can just multiply straight across. 2 times 2, and then 1 times 7. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 1 times 7 is 7. So 4 7s is the answer for that one. Now, a section or two ago, they had some problems where they used the word of. And so here we have, I'm looking at this one right here, we have 2/5 of 5/12. Well, that of is just another way of saying multiply. So if that helps you, you could rewrite it 2/5 times 5/12. Can we do any cross canceling? Oh yeah, we sure can. 5 and 5 right there. And then also we could do the 2 and the 12. Okay? So think about it. What number goes into 5 other than 1 evenly? Well, 5 goes into itself evenly 1 time. Cross that out. All right. How about the 2 and 12? Is there a number that goes into 2 and into 12 evenly? Yeah. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 12 6 times. Now we just multiply straight across. When we're multiplying fractions, that's what you do. You just multiply straight across. So what's 1 times 1? 1. What's 1 times 6? 6. And there's the answer. It's 1/6. Now, look, I'm going to do the very same problem, but I'm not going to do any cross canceling. I just want to make sure you guys understand this. So I'm just going to rewrite this as 2/5 times 5/12. It's kind of an ugly 5. There we go, equals. All right? So I'm not going to worry about cross-canceling. I'm just going to multiply straight across, which is what you do when you multiply fractions. So what's 2 times 5? That's 10. What's 5 times 12? Well, what is 5 times 12? Do you guys know your 12s yet? Whoops. Is it still recording? Yes, good. Okay. Anyways, 5 times 12 is what? 60. If you know your multiplication tables. So 10 over 60. Is there a number that goes, if I want to reduce this, is there a number that goes into 10 and 60 evenly? Well, yeah, how about 10? How many times does 10 go into 10? Once. How many times does 10 go into 60? 6 times. And there you have it. We have the exact same answer for each one. And one of them, I did the cross-canceling, which made it a lot easier to multiply. And the other one I didn't, but then I had to reduce it. So as long as your numbers as far as adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, whatever is correct, you'll get the same answer. All right. All right, a couple more we're going to look at here. In the section that I'm doing this ahead of the game here, the one that you're doing today, it does talk about area. Do you guys remember the formula for area? Area equals length times width. All right. So let's look at this first one right here. So if I needed to figure out the area of this particular figure, what's inside, I would multiply the length times the width. So 7 times 5. Well, 7 times 5 is 35. What are these little marks here, that little symbol mean by the number? That means feet. So it's 35 feet. I could put an FT squared, or I could put 35 feet, SQ for squared, or somebody might put 35 square feet. That's also correct. Somebody might put, well, let's see. There's probably several different ways you could write it, but you get the right idea. That's correct. 35 feet squared. All right. Length times width. So, and just so you know, it doesn't matter if you do width times length. In other words, 7 times 5, and you guys should know this by now, is the same thing as 5 times 7. So it doesn't matter which one you multiply first. You're going to get the same answer. But everybody is, when we're talking about area, they always say length times width. All right. All right, how about this one? We needed to find the area of this figure. Well, what's the formula for area? Formula for area is length times width. So we could do 9 times 2/3 or 2/3 times 9. It doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. So I'll put 2/3 times, well, I can't leave it a whole number, so I'm going to put 9 over 1. All right, can we do any cross-canceling? We sure can. 3 goes into 3 once, but 3 goes into 9 3 times. Now we just multiply straight across. What's 2 times 3? That's 6. What's 1 times 1? 1. So the area is 6. 6 what? What do these little symbols right here mean? Well, that means inches. When you see 2 little marks like that, it's inches. So 6 inches squared, or 6 inches, somebody might put squared like that. Okay? Or somebody might write 6 square inches. I mean, that's fine too. I'd accept that. All right? So there you go. Now, again, it wouldn't matter. You could have done, like I did, 2/3 times 9 to find the area, or maybe you did 9 times 2/3. I mean, it doesn't matter. All right? Okay, that's it. Just wanted to do a quick review video before I give you guys the chapter 8 quiz. And as I said, it'll just be through sections 1 through 6. And I'm doing this a couple days ahead of time. But that's it. I will talk to you guys later.